Ladies and gentlemen, we had the go-home show tonight for the Clash of Champions pay-per-view on Sunday. Braun Strowman versus Dabba-Kato in Raw Underground. We had the Hurt Business versus Retribution, which disappointed tonight in the main event. Another Keith Lee Drew McIntyre match, and so much more you're going to want to hear on the Big Fight Field channel tonight. I'm Joseph Conlon. Thank you for joining me here on the Big Fight Field channel tonight. Before we get started with the review, I just want to say thank you to the new subscribers here on the channel. We're at 215 subscribers on the Big Fight Field channel, and I want to thank you to new subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy my content here on the channel. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight's Raw is absolutely horrible. That's the one word I could say. Horrible show. Different Raw. Same Raw, different week. It's the same Raw every single week. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not alone here tonight. Here to break down Monday Night Raw with me, my buddy Adam on Twitter. Adam, what's going on tonight, man? I see you got your head down in shame right now.
I don't believe it. I legit do not believe the nightmare we watched on this show tonight. I don't believe it. I honestly think tonight is, I don't know how much this show could get any worse. Legitimately. It's as if this show wants us to be pissed off. It's as if Vince McMahon wants to piss us off even more every single week. Because this show tonight was the complete fucking disaster. Complete fucking utter disaster. I have so respect to everybody in this company that wanted to pay their money to sit there as a virtual fan. I have zero sympathy for every single human being that paid to watch Monday Night Raw as a virtual fan on the Thunderdome. I have zero respect for them. Because this was the show he gave you.
He has unleashed his anger, ladies and gentlemen. I feel the same way. It feels like they top themselves every single week, you know?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like, how can everybody look at this? How could I say anything remotely positive?
Oh, man. We might as well just get into the show, dude. We might as well just get into the show. And it started off with a promo by Retribution, who...
Oh!
Yeah, exactly. They revealed their names.
They're not Retribution. They are Failure-bution. Because that's who they are. A failure of a faction. Failure-bution.
Yep. But, I mean, this was pretty basic, formulaic. They look absolutely ridiculous. Can we talk about the one thing I'm going to point out this segment? It set up the main event with the Hurt Business and Retribution, yada yada, all that. But let's talk about Dijakovic real quick. This man looks ridiculous. He's wearing a Bane mask, and he's got red face paint on his face, and he is bald. Dominic Dijakovic is bald, dude. I could not believe my eyes when I saw that. Do you have any...
I have no words. The best you got for Dominic Dijakovic on Monday Night Raw is on Retribution. Great.
It's horrible.
Yeah. How to kill more NXT talent coming up to the main roster? Let's put them in Failure-bution.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's happened to so many NXT wrestlers. Listen, if you came up from NXT and you're going to the main roster, you really don't have a good shot, you know?
Yeah. Man, if I'm the Undisputed Era, if I am Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong, I am looking to Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and Bruce Pritchard directly in their faces, and I will say this. No thank you, bosses. going to leave Full Sail University. We ain't leaving NXT.
Well, yeah, I mean, now...
All they have to do is watch Monday Night Raw every single Monday night, and that is their future. Look at Dominic Dijakovic and look at Keith Lee, and that is their future.
Exactly. I don't even want to talk about this opening segment anymore, but the first match gave me a headache. We had... Okay, first off, Adam, this triple threat tag team match did not make sense at all. We had Andrade and Angel Garza versus Seth Rollins and Murphy, who Rollins turned on Murphy last week, and they went up against Humberto Carrillo and Dominic Mysterio, two people that I don't think I've even seen paths on WWE television before. And Andrade and Angel Garza win this triple threat match. So what does that mean? We get, again, Andrade and Garza versus the Street Profits at Clash of Champions on Sunday. Take it away.
I don't give a fuck. Legitimately, how many times we have seen Angel Garza and Andrade Cien Almas against the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team Championships? We've seen this since WrestleMania. We've seen this since WrestleMania 36, and they are still continuing that feud. I don't give a fuck. Legitimately. And why is Humberto Carrillo in this match instead of Rey Mysterio? Why isn't Rey Mysterio teaming up with his son to challenge for the Tag Team Championships? And when was Humberto Carrillo last seen on TV? Remind me. Because I cannot even remember when was the last time he's been on Monday Night Raw.
Actually,
even when I'm on Monday Night Raw. In fact, listen to this. Humberto Carrillo has lost over 70% of his matches in 2020. Let that sink in.
He lost to a match on Main Event this past week. Actually, he lost on Main Event to Riddick Moss. So, there's your decline for Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah, Humberto Carrillo loses to Riddick Moss on Main Event, yet he's teaming up with Dominic Mysterio. Yet, Humberto Carrillo has lost over 70% of his matches in 2020 alone on Monday Night Raw, and he's getting a Raw Tag Team title shot. Great.
I don't get it.
Some logic there, Bruce.
I don't get it.
Clown.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Andrade and Garza wins at this point. I don't even care about the tag team titles. Let's just move on. We had the Kevin Owens show with Shane McMahon, and he was there to promote this big Raw Underground match tonight with Braun Strowman and Dabba-Kato. Dabba-Kato came out. Owens got in his face. Don't think I forgot about what happened 2 weeks ago. Me and you, we will do this. We will do this soon, and I will beat you. And then he slaps Dabba-Kato in the face. Braun Strowman comes out, and then Aleister Black attacks Owens, and they're still feuding even though Owens won clean last week. And Shane McMahon separates Strowman and Dabba-Kato. I don't know. I guess this was okay, but... Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Braun Strowman, Dabba-Kato on Raw failure ground. Not Raw Underground. Raw failure ground, because it's a failure. Braun Strowman, he goes from Universal Champion on SmackDown for 4 months to dancing around in his underwear and smiling like a complete fucking cock in a video that I saw on Twitter, that I sent it to you in the chat, on Twitter in a message chat, to being on Raw Underground. Awesome. This guy was your Universal Champion for 4 months. Just let that sink in.
Unbelievable. You look at Braun Strowman, he's a clown. You want to look at a real monster, folks? Watch AEW and watch Lance Archer.
Yeah. Braun Strowman, at the end of the year, in 2020, at the end of the year, he'll be known as the biggest creative failure of 2020. Braun Strowman, in my opinion, and in your opinion as well, if you agree with me, he's the biggest creative failure for WWE in 2020. Based off everything they did with him from WrestleMania 36 all the way until Payback.
I could see where you're coming from right there, but one man that I have in my mind that, I mean, just came to Monday Night Raw that we're about to talk about next. He might be up there for the biggest creative failure, and that man is Mr. Keith Lee, who went up against Drew McIntyre again tonight on Monday Night Raw.
Can someone in creative explain to me why are we getting this match again? Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't we get this last week and it ended in a no contest because Failure Abushin appeared?
Yep.
Attacked both. And why is Keith Lee still in a singlet? First this guy is in a vest, then in a singlet. What is next? Wrestling in a t-shirt? On Monday Night Raw? What is next? Changing his boots? To white boots from black boots? On Monday Night Raw?
I mean, they seem to change this guy's attire every single week. It's Vince McMahon. He changes his mind every 5 minutes. The guy seems to change his mind. And we got this match between McIntyre and Keith Lee. I don't know if you felt this way, but I was kind of bored watching this match. I don't know what it was. I just did not... Yeah, exactly. I just did not care after last week. Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, I found it really boring. We all knew where this was happening. McIntyre, you could see him putting his head down right there, as we already know we're about to talk about. McIntyre hit Keith Lee with the Claymore kick. Orton came in with a chair shot. And, of course, Randy Orton caused the DQ because Randy Orton wasn't going to miss the pay-per-view on Sunday. So that was that. And then Randy Orton cut a promo at the ambulance truck, sitting on the ambulance truck, saying stuff like, when I was in the ambulance and I was in pain and I got out of the ambulance, I was smiling because it reminded me of what I'm really capable of. And my insurance policy, I guess, to be a 14th WWE World Champion is the ambulance. So that was that. I guess it was a good promo. What are your thoughts on this Orton-McIntyre match Sunday at Clash of Champions?
I don't give a shit. Literally, I don't give a shit. We've seen it already at SummerSlam, and Drew McIntyre won clean. But he's okay with giving Randy Orton another shot. But despite beating him clean. Well, I understand you want to be a fighting champion, Mr. McIntyre, but you're making yourself look like a complete clown on TV by saying this alone. I have nothing against him, though. I love Drew McIntyre, but seriously, why would you give Randy Orton another WWE title shot when Orton already lost clean at SummerSlam to Drew McIntyre? Logic gap there.
Yeah.
Logic gaps everywhere on Monday Night Raw. Not surprised. But this is Vince McMahon. This is Kevin Dunn. This is Bruce Prichard running Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Clown. Big clown.
Clowns, the creative team. And, yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, they probably ripped up the script at 7 o'clock tonight, so...
I will not be shocked if Vince McMahon showed up late for Monday Night Raw and he rewrote the show all by himself again.
It's happened before. It could have happened again. Probably did. So, here's the thing that I was really pissed off about. We had Zelina Vega versus Mickie James. I did not even care about the match, really. I knew Zelina was going to win this match because they have really nobody lined up for Asuka. So, of course, Zelina won this match clean. And at the same time, here's a couple problems I got. Number one, that's a spit in the face to Mickie James. After what happened last week in a horrible finish, and now she's losing clean to a manager in Zelina. I don't even consider her a wrestler. She's a manager.
Well, she's decent in the ring. She's decent, but she's more suited as a manager than she is a wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. She's more suited as a manager. She's okay. I'm not going to say she's decent. I'm not really the biggest Zelina Vega fan. But the problem is here. We got this match on Sunday now. Zelina Vega versus Asuka. And it's on the pre-show. I was like, what? They're gonna put this on the pre-show over Andrade and Angel Garza.
Imagine being Asuka and your first defense at a pay-per-view and your second run as Raw Women's Champion is on the fucking pre-show at the next pay-per-view after Summer. They completely devalued her run already as the Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah, it's a slap in the face. And you know what? Seeing this tonight just gave me a bad image in my head, dude. Is it just me, or is Asuka just keeping that championship warm for Charlotte Flair when she comes back?
Imagine if they did Charlotte versus Asuka and Charlotte was the Raw Women's Champion. Then I would be really wondering why the fuck was Asuka the Raw Women's Champion twice to begin with. In fact, that would make the switch that Becky Lynch was not pregnant and they'll make us that Becky was still the Raw Women's Champion by now. Or Sasha Banks, they'll make us switch that Sasha Banks was still the Raw Women's Champion after Summer.
I totally agree with you. It's like you're gonna put the championship on Asuka just to give it to your good old Queen Charlotte Flair, and then you're gonna piss more people off when it eventually happens, because it's gonna happen. You know it is.
It's gonna happen. I mean, Charlotte is out for the rest of the year. She possibly could return at the Royal Rumble. Just watch. Watch. It's coming. Charlotte Flair is returning at the Women's Royal Rumble match in 2021 in January. Just watch. It's coming. God. It's coming. Don't be shocked if it happens.
I swear we're getting a little bit off track here with the Raw, but I swear to God, if Charlotte Flair wins the Royal Rumble over Sasha Banks this year, I'm really going to be pissed off. Because that...
You're not the only one. Many people are going to be pissed off, including me, including our friends. They'll be pissed off as well.
Yep, absolutely. Apollo Crews versus Cedric Alexander. Two very good wrestlers. Two wrestlers that I really do like. This was decent. This wasn't that bad. Apollo Crews won with a surprise roll-up thanks to Ricochet. And then the Hurt Business came out and they took out Apollo Crews and Ricochet. Nothing really much to say here. Apollo won in 6 minutes. And we're getting a rematch on Sunday between Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. Adam, the floor is yours, man.
Rinse and repeat is Monday Night Raw. Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley. We all know what's going to happen. Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. Bobby Lashley hits the spear, locks in the full Nelson on Apollo Crews. It's so. Bobby Lashley will still be the United States Champion, and Apollo Crews will be right back to Titus Catering, making more cupcake full of chocolate in it for Titus.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's coming. It's coming. It sucks because...
happens. I will not be shocked if it happens.
It sucks because when they gave Crews an opportunity, and the only reason he got an opportunity in the first place is because of Paul Heyman. So I'm going to say when Paul Heyman gave him the opportunity, he didn't do a bad job. But the reason his reign wasn't that special is because they had him in this feud that lasted 3 months, and Vince McMahon didn't make it special. I felt like if Paul Heyman was still there, he would have made it a decent reign for Apollo Crews, possibly.
Yeah, but Vince McMahon, God forbid Paul Heyman, God forbid he's proven wrong by anybody. Not named Triple H, of course.
Mm-hmm. All right. This segment that we're about to talk about, we're going into the third hour of Monday Night Raw. This was one of the most awkward segments I think I've ever seen. Seth Rollins was coming out with an envelope. Gonna take a cheap shot, by the way, right here. Seth Rollins coming out with a yellow envelope, acting like he's in the Dark Order. So there's a shot right there.
Mr. Brody Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper, and the Dark Order in AEW.
Yep. Taking a...
The Dark Order make this So much better than what Seth Rollins did on Monday. Tonight on Monday Night Raw with what we got.
So Seth is standing in the ring. He said he's got some very, very important information to share, and he needs the entire Rey Mysterio family to come out. So we see Angie, we see Seth, we see Dominic, we see Aaliyah, and Seth is opening the envelope. Rey is talking. I didn't even pay attention to what Rey was saying. Seth opens the envelope. He says, "Is Dominic really Rey's son?" And I'm like, "Oh, 2005 again? We're gonna do this again?"
At least it worked in 2005 because Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio had an awesome feud in 2005 over the custody of Dominic. This is not gonna work in 2020. It's not gonna work with Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio like it did with Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero.
So Rollins has the envelope, and he says, "Oh, it looks like Dominic is not your son." And he starts laughing. Then Rey Mysterio is saying, "Yeah, you're fooling." And he says, "Okay, well, so Dominic might not be your son, but what if Aaliyah isn't your son after last week?" So they showed the clip of Aaliyah showing concern. Were you going to say something?
Bunny Murphy. Feeling sympathy for Bunny Murphy.
Yep. So she was feeling sympathy, concerned for Murphy. And then Seth was like, "Is Aaliyah your daughter?" And then Rey was like, "You don't talk to my daughter like that. She knows she's a part of the Mysterio family. She's only 19 years old, and she's naive and doesn't know much about the world." And then she looks at Rey really oddly, and she walks to the back. Then Angie walked to the back, and then Rey ran to the back, and then Dominic went to the back, and then Seth Rollins was acting depressed, and they just went to commercial. And I was like, "This dude, what's going on here?" This was so awkward to watch.
This was awful. Like Jimmy, why are they WWE is awful at their job that they want to rehash a storyline from 15 years ago. Awful. That is awful. In fact, what else was awful? And speaking of awful, we got that awful segment
earlier today. That was in the commercial. Akira Tozawa and his ninjas were swimming in a beach trying to find R-Truth for the 24/7 championship.
Oh shit. I didn't even know.
That was awful.
I didn't even
watch it. Watch it. If you didn't watch it, good for you. Because this segment was garbage. That was garbage. Akira Tozawa, one of the most talented guys on Monday Night Raw, swimming in a beach with his ninjas trying to find R-Truth and the 24/7 championship. Can we end this already? If I was in charge and I had the power of the pen, I would fucking burn the 24/7 championship. I would write a storyline where to take that title off of television forever. That's how bad that was.
Well, I'm glad.
Nothing against R-Truth, nothing against Akira Tozawa, but please, can we get that title off of this show? Can we get that 24/7, 48/7, 7-Eleven? I don't know how the fuck this is still on TV with a bag of fucking Doritos, with a slice of a Mountain Dew, with a fucking hamburger with cheese on it, with ketchup title off of the show. Can we get it off the show? It gives me a fucking headache every fucking week.
Well, I didn't even know about it, so I'm glad you brought this up, and I'm glad I saved time for not watching this, because I changed the channel when this actually came on. So, next match here, we got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Natalya and Lana. They embarrassed Lana here. They beat her in 90 seconds. Then after the match, a second week in a row, Lana eats a Samoan drop from Nia Jax through the announce table. Yet, I read reports saying dropping Lana through the announce table had nothing to do with Miro going to AEW. And I laughed my ass off when I read that.
burned watching Monday Night Raw every goddamn week for 3 hours. My soul pains me watching Monday Night Raw. And look, as much as I hate Lana, as much as how much we don't want to see Lana on TV, this is not her fault that Rusev went to AEW. It's not her fault. She doesn't deserve to be punished by WWE because of her husband to AEW. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. It's the company's fault. Because they fucked up Rusev because he got over on his own Rusev with A&E.
It's not her fault at all. It's just WWE's pettiness. Like, they've done it so many times before, and Rusev will be for the better for it, because Rusev will be a definite world champion in AEW, in my opinion. We then got into...
Lana isn't to blame. It's WWE to blame for Rusev's firing on Black Wednesday with 50 other people, and it's WWE's blame, and it's their mistake for him going to AEW, and for why he wasn't made into a superstar in WWE. WWE has to blame. Lana is not.
So we got into this big Raw Underground match that they were promoting the entire night between Dabba-Kato and Braun Strowman. And they fought...
Before that, we got... Speaking of Raw, before that, we got... what is his name? Against the idiot known as Dolph Ziggler. Yes, I'm calling him the idiot known as Dolph Ziggler because he's a fucking WWE corporate clown. How is he happy with his job? Knowing how much burial he's getting on Monday Night Raw and on SmackDown, wherever he goes. WWE related.
I didn't even know that was a match on Raw Underground tonight. Because I didn't even watch Raw Underground until this match with Braun Strowman and Dabba-Kato. And I really do got a lot to say about this.
It's not he's called boring clown man. He's called boring bald man because he has his head shaved bald. And he's a fucking clown.
Or you could just call him Braun Strowman as well. That's what I like to call him. So
yeah, I like calling him boring clown man because he's boring. He has no charisma. He has no personality, and he's a clown. He's a clown. And he should not even be on television, on Raw or on SmackDown.
This match with Dabba-Kato, this was really disappointing, man. I gotta tell you, they were hyping this up the entire night, and this fight only went 90 seconds, and Braun Strowman beat Dabba-Kato with a knockout victory. This was a waste. This was a waste of 90 seconds.
This was your former Universal Champion, my brother. This was your former Universal Champion for 4 months. It's Braun Strowman. He goes from how the mighty have fallen. He goes from Universal Champion to Raw Underground. And there was not one mention of Braun Strowman being a former Universal Champion. Not one mention from the commentary of Braun Strowman being a former Universal Champion. Not one mention. How bad does it look?
It's horrible.
How bad does it look?
It's horrible, man. I don't even want to talk about this underground shit anymore. They got to get rid of it. It's getting nobody over. Raw Underground is legit getting nobody over, so it needs to die immediately. And you know what else needs to die?
And worse than them all, before we got that, there's another Raw Underground match that we had. We got Riddick Moss against Rowe from the Warriors. I don't know who Eric is from the Viking Raiders. We got Riddick Moss versus Rowe on Raw Underground, and Rowe was buried on Raw Underground again. Oh my God, how the mighty have fallen for the War Raiders. Triple H creates, Vince McMahon kills. Just look at the War Raiders right now. Look at Hanson and Rowe right now on Monday Night Raw. They go from one of the best tag team matches of the year in NXT against the Undisputed Era, TakeOver Phoenix, and a TakeOver New York with Ricochet and Aleister Black. And I think to Monday Night Raw, having their name changed 3 different times, and they are getting buried every single week on Raw, especially on Raw Underground, with take the War Raiders seriously ever again after one I'm watching here was Raw. Every single week. Not only this week, every single week that we're seeing the War Raiders on Monday Night Raw.
Absolutely. Yep. Final match.
Can we send them back to NXT? Or if you don't have any plans for them, if WWE does not have any plans for them, send them back to NXT or release them. Just release them from their contracts.
I agree. Final match here on the show. We got the Hurt Business versus Retribution, and goddamn, I did not even care about the match. I don't even want to talk about the match. The show ended with a brawl. We're going to end off the review by talking about the names of Retribution. Holy shit. Freaking Slapjack, T-Bar, and Mace. You got Shane...
My God! My fucking God! Slapjack, or Slapjack, what they call it, whatever. Slapjack, Bar, and Mice. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. How to make Retribution even more of a failure? Give them a name for 3P. Give them a name that we all can laugh at for all the wrong reasons, knowing how much of a failure the faction is.
They are a huge failure, and I'm telling you right now, man, they will not exist by the end of 2020. They will not.
I guarantee you, after 5 years, just watch them do Team Raw versus Retribution, and Team Raw wins, and Retribution all get unmasked, and they're off of television for good. And they will forget that Retribution ever existed, and WWE will pretend that Retribution ever existed. Oh my God, man. This show sucked. It sucked the life out of everybody. Now, one positive thing on this show outside of Randy Orton's promo and the SmackDown promo package hyping up Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions.
Yep. I would have to agree. Like I said in the beginning.
I hope Monday Night Raw's ratings get even lower. I mean, they got 1.689 million viewers. I hope they get a 1.5. I hope they get, or even lower than that, a 1.4 million viewers.
They could get a 1.
Coming. That's how bad it is. That's how bad the show's becoming. Every single fucking week, every single fucking month.
They could become bad because they had a good football game on ESPN tonight, so maybe it will drop to a 1.5. But like I said in the beginning, man, same show, different week. That's all it is. It's the same show and a different week. And it's just pathetic. It really is pathetic. But ladies and gentlemen,
2020. And that's all I have to say. The worst Raw of 2020. How many times do I have to use this phrase? Worst Raw of 2020. The worst Raw of the year. Every single week. Now, this week has topped every week of Raw as being the worst Raw of 2020. I don't know how much this show could get worse. I don't know how much this Monday Night Raw could get worse. And you do realize this was the go-home show for Clash of Champions. Do you realize there's a pay-per-view on Sunday night? Do you realize that there's a pay-per-view on Sunday night called Clash of Champions that you heard tonight on Monday Night Raw? Did you realize? Nope. If you didn't, I don't blame you. Because this show fucking sucked. This show was a complete fucking disaster.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the Monday Night Raw review here on the Big Fight Field channel tonight. I want to thank you all for each and every single one of you who tuned in to the review tonight. Make sure, if you have any last-minute questions for me tomorrow for the 200 subscriber 1-year anniversary Q&A, drop them in the comments below. I want some questions for the Q&A video. We got 10 lined up tomorrow. So big video coming out tomorrow for you guys. Comment down below. I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. And I want you to like the video. I want you to hit that like button if you like what I said and what Adam said tonight. And then follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And then follow Adam on Twitter at Adam. I'm really sorry. I do not want to even attempt to pronounce your last name, so I don't want to get it wrong.
Call me only Adam. Just call me only Adam.
Adam. You can go follow Adam on Twitter. I'll tag him tonight in a tweet for the review. You got any last minute words before we get out of here?
Well, I have to. Clash of Champions this Sunday? Forget about it. It's called Trash of Champions. This show, this company, sinks just, it's just mind-boggling how they continue to top themselves every week. Like, and one last thing. I hope this show sinks even lower in the ratings. And if anybody praises this show, if anybody comes out and defends this show, I have no sympathy for you. I have no sympathy for anybody who wants to come out and defend Monday Night Raw after what we got tonight.
Well,
because this show continues to get worse. It will forever be bad, and it will continue to get even worse until Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are gone and removed from their positions. That's all I have to say.
Well, ladies and
That's all I have
gentlemen,
to say, bro.
this is Joseph Conlon. This is Adam. I want to thank Adam for joining me on the channel tonight. Fun night reviewing Raw, shitting on Raw. Lots of good talk. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the 200 subscriber Q&A right here on the channel. Have a good night.